The basics of orthographic projection. Technical drawing is one of the clearest technical communication tools used according to international standards. Orthographic projection is a method of representing a three-dimensional object by projecting its surfaces perpendicularly onto two-dimensional planes. The purpose of this method is to show the geometry, dimensions, and details of an object accurately, using the minimum number of necessary views for production or assembly. In engineering drawings, parts can be represented in both two-dimensional and three-dimensional forms. It is very important that these views are consistent with each other. This consistency reduces errors in production and provides a common understanding for all technical teams. The front view, top view, and side views of an object are projected onto the X, Y, and YZ planes according to certain rules. This placement system is called orthographic projection. In technical drawing, views are generally drawn using two main methods: first angle projection and third angle projection. First angle projection method. First angle projection is one of the most commonly used projection methods in engineering drawings. In this method, the object is placed in the first quadrant. In other words, the object is positioned between the observer and the projection plane. To understand this more clearly, imagine that we are standing directly in front of the object. The shape seen from this point is called the front view. The front view is projected onto the vertical plane located behind the object. In other words, the image seen by the observer is projected onto this vertical plane. Now, let us imagine that we are looking at the same object from above. The view obtained from above is transferred onto the horizontal plane. This view is shown in the drawing as the top view. While the front view shows the general form of the object, the top view helps us understand the relationship between the length and width of the object. For this reason, placing the views correctly is very important for the readability of the drawing. In first angle projection, the front view is placed in the upper part of the drawing, and the top view is placed below it. Now, let us look at the side views. The view obtained by looking at an object from the left side is called the left side view. The view obtained by looking from the right side is called the right side view. To obtain the left side view, a plane is placed parallel to the right side of the object. When the observer looks from the left side, the view is projected onto this plane. Similarly, for the right side view, a plane is placed parallel to the left side of the object, and the view is projected onto the opposite plane. To show all these planes on a single drawing sheet, the horizontal plane is rotated downward, and the side planes are opened outward. At the end of this process, all views are arranged on a single flat surface in a related and organized way. To summarize the first angle projection method, the front view is placed in the upper part of the drawing. The top view is drawn directly below the front view. The left side view is placed on the right side of the front view. The right side view is placed on the left side of the front view. This arrangement is the basic rule of first angle projection. Thanks to this method, the three-dimensional form of an object can be shown on a two-dimensional plane in a way that everyone can understand in the same manner. Thus, clarity, standardization, and universal readability are achieved in engineering drawings. Third angle projection method. Third angle projection is a projection system widely used especially in the United States and Canada. Although first angle projection is more commonly preferred in Europe, both systems are valid around the world. The purpose of both methods is the same: to show the three-dimensional shape of an object clearly and accurately on two-dimensional drawing planes. However, the placement of the views and the position of the projection planes are different in these two methods. Now, let us examine the third angle projection method to understand these differences. Third angle projection is one of the two main projection methods used in engineering drawings. In this method, the object is placed in the third quadrant. In other words, the projection plane is positioned between the observer and the object. Since the vertical plane is located between the observer and the observer cannot see the object directly. For this reason, the vertical plane is considered transparent, and the shape seen by the observer is projected onto this plane. The resulting view is the front view of the object. Similarly, when the object is viewed from above, the horizontal plane is again located between the observer and the object. Therefore, the top view is projected onto the horizontal plane. This view clearly shows the relationship between the length and width of the part. In this way, the general form of the part as seen from above becomes easier to understand. The side views of the object are projected onto profile planes placed on both sides of the object. When the observer looks from the right side, the view is projected onto the right profile plane. When the observer looks from the left side, the view is projected onto the left profile plane. When these planes are opened and arranged on a drawing sheet, the placement of the views is as follows. The front view is placed below the XY line. The top view is placed above the XY line. The left side view is placed on the left side of the front view. The right side view is placed on the right side of the front view. This arrangement is the basic placement rule of third-angle projection. Thanks to this method, drawings can be understood in the same way in different countries, and a universal standard is achieved in technical communication. Orthographic projection is one of the fundamental methods used in technical drawing. It allows a three-dimensional object to be represented clearly and accurately through two-dimensional views. First-angle and third-angle projection methods have the same purpose, but their view placement rules are different. For this reason, the projection method used in a drawing must always be understood correctly. Correct use of orthographic projection ensures clarity, accuracy, standardization, and effective communication in engineering drawings.